Hello, everybody. No, let your shirt show. It's okay.
No foe,
It's a
yo.
great shirt.
It's a great shirt. It
Hey
tastes
guys,
delicious.
thanks for being with us today. You are kicking off this series of interviews that we're doing. So let me start by just saying, let everybody know who you are and what you guys do through your company.
Well, I'm Casey,
I'm Anisa.
and we are the owners, founders of an interior design company based in Roswell called Truth & Co.
Yes.
Very good. And what does Truth & Co do?
We work with homeowners doing interior design, and we to new construction, and we're also doing virtual design.
Basically, if it stresses you out when you're doing your home project, we come in and save the day and save dollars as well and leave it looking gorgeous. And you're really glad that you used us.
So one of the things that you guys have had a shift in a not too decent or most recent future is recent future.
I think what you meant
It's
to
been a
say
long
is
day.
this has been a long year,
Yeah.
these last 10 days.
Longest year of the year.
Seriously, you guys have had to make a shift recently.
Right.
Mhm.
So virtual design is something you're now doing in addition to regular design where you're in front of your clients. So what's that like?
It's been great, actually.
Yeah.
It's something that we were working on last year. Just saw that there was a need for it. We are always face to face with clients, but we were turning down a lot of business, and we weren't able to help as many people. We designed last year, and then thankfully with coronavirus, we did have it set up, and we've kind of tested it, and so it's been really helpful to have in the season of social distancing.
About the time we started our company, Anisa doing the design of large projects, and I'm more behind the scene running business stuff, I noticed we were saying no to a lot of the smaller clients. And I want to say, talking to you, Bryan, and intelligent folks like yourself, learning like a bigger client is going to kind of fill up the room like an elephant, and then going, well, then what's our rabbit part of our company? Should the elephants leave? And we kind of cast that vision to our team. And this idea that we could say yes to a percentage of the smaller projects virtually all over the country that we would get asked, how can we say yes? And that's just been plaguing me. So we finally got the right team members on board that could kind of catch the vision and put the wheels on the bus. And we started launching that in 2019, test running it. And then moving forward, we've done dozens of them up until and kind of found us having something we already had built that we could help promote. And honestly, we've been helping other designers virtually to figure out how we do what we do.
So I want to applaud you for making that pivot. I think it's a really smart move, and I think a lot of businesses are probably wishing they already did that. So great job to be ahead of the curve.
Who knew?
So
right?
so obviously the coronavirus has impacted your business. It's impacted ours and our companies. Tell me what has changed day to day with you and your team through all this craziness.
Oh man. I mean, I would say a lot to where we're not seeing each other in the office, and then we're not doing, walkthroughs at home sites. So I miss that interaction. It's even just like giving them a hug. But we are still very, very involved thanks to Zoom and Google Hangout. And then we have tools like things that are very, very connected, and having this face-to-face time, even virtually, is so helpful to feel connected and not like you're on this little island.
I mean, real talk, we have 4 little girls. I think if we lose you a little bit, I'll just repeat myself. We have 4 little girls, and the oldest is middle school, all the way down to a girl, the youngest daughter that's not potty trained, who actually just wet the floor. I slipped on that earlier. That was awesome. I had to change my outfit. But all of those 4 kids are like, play with us. We know you're in there. And it's just, that's not part of our normal day to day. They usually go to school. Right. So we're having to be both like teacher, and then we're working, and then it's like, I love you, we're married. And then it's like, but you're my boss. And so it's a lot of that balance that I think the world is feeling. And that's one thing we've been telling our team, what we're talking about, how we're pendulum switch, the shift that we're experiencing. Not like we're talking about something local to the world doesn't know, like if we had bad weather that impacted our company, this is impacting the entire world. So how can we address something in a universal way and then how can we both be on target and on point, deadlines, all that's impacting with, projects abroad, but then as we'll talk about future projects and how this kind of is happening. So some of the virtual stuff we were already doing because it enabled us to serve more clients. And again, you guys have been so influential to us.
Absolutely.
Your book.
Virtual culture.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I mean, this is not about us right now, but thank you.
It's just proximity to the y'all's culture has infected our culture. And I think I would encourage people out there, do not disconnect from other people who are experiencing exactly what you are.
Yeah.
Reach out. Most of us are going, I don't want to just help my culture. I'm trying to lend a helping hand. It's a little bit of that 9/11 scenario. Some people towards it and go find the people who actually want to help you. So y'all have done that with us, and I think that that's impacted both how we're taking care of our clients. We called them all, let them know, hey, we're here for you. Is there, do you need toilet paper, or do you want us to find a light fixture? We're here for both. So that's kind of where it finds us right now.
Both very equally important. Yeah, I mean, I remember talking to you guys about this concept of virtually and saying that virtual doesn't mean less than. And I'm so glad that you had that new offering already in place before you were forced to do a lot of virtual work and virtual consultation. Right. And so for those people who are listening who might have had that perception, like it's less than good if it's virtual, what would you say in that scenario?
Gosh, I think that was something personal struggle for me to get. Just thinking that if I wasn't face-to-face, what would I miss? Would it get executed correctly? I think as long as you're upfront with your clients and setting parameters and setting expectations, saying, hey, no, here's what we can do, and here's a few things we can't, but let's focus on what we can do. And if you don't have those systems in place, start today. There's, don't wait till it's 6 months from now. And for me, I always want to wait till everything's perfect before I present, and realizing that I can present while I'm still building the airplane. Like you can still figure things out. And I say get started as soon as possible.
I remember when email was a big deal. And I remember throughout time, we're just old enough that we remember the induction of some of these technologies. Right. And like people like my dad going, I'll never do that. And, and then even when the iPhone started doing its thing, and just as things go, I think this is one of those that's being crammed down our throat. Fortunately, the connectivity we're all experiencing. So you can run from it, but I think when you have to figure it out, it's really awesome that there's actually a ton of resources out there.
Yes.
So yeah, like Zoom, watching Jimmy Fallon, he's like, I never heard of Zoom. And I'm thinking, how have they never heard of Zoom? It's because they're on NBC. But this is how the rest of us have been operating. It's also allowed us, I think part of our deal was paying attention to tensions. And we had this early on with a core team member when she had a high-risk pregnancy. She was a part of y'all's project early on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so when she went home, I remember Anisa and I talking, how can we still involve her while she's in the hospital in Florida, or when she's at home with a baby that cannot be outdoors, had all the organs displayed. Right. And when that finally, that kind of like, we could do this virtual thing, it found us problem solving instead of like that part of your brain can flip on if you start asking the question, but how do we do it? I know we can't do it yet. Switches and you start solving problems, not just for yourself, but for us, it was our team members, and it's paved the way for them and more. So,
yeah, well, obviously you guys have pivoted well and been agile, which is something a lot of businesses need to be doing right now, is remaining agile. So well done. Virtual fist bump coming at you.
I mean,
thank you. And it's not gone without just being transparent. It's not gone without a struggle.
Sure.
Or me letting go of certain things. I'm like, no, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
And so with some encouragement, and then we've got the right tools. We just need to apply them. So
yeah, just encouraging people, if they're listening, to at least try it. When we were doing virtual design, I remember early on, you did say, so CEO here said, I don't think that's going to work. And then she about faced and got on the FaceTime of the phone with a contractor and was telling him exactly how high to hang a shelf. And y'all know Brett Lomprey. And she was like, no, move it up a little bit. I just don't think virtual is going to work. Yeah, no, right there. That's perfect. Okay, great. And I was like, but you're doing it right now.
I'm doing it.
They're like an hour away and you're telling them where to hang a shelf. We're telling paint colors. We're doing, you name it, from Florida to here. We've been a part of projects that we can do virtually. Ultimately, it's that connection that you get to have with somebody. And when you do feel that sense of like, this is working, that's so synergetic and momentum building.
Yeah.
Dopamine in your brain, like we're doing it, and your team and your family and people around you need that right
Yeah, I keep saying to people, if grandma is FaceTiming her grandkids around the country, we have no excuse. Like we can connect with people. So we have 2 more questions for you.
Yeah.
The first is right now, just in the midst of everything that's going on, being home, working at home, all that stuff, what's given you hope or made you laugh?
Oh my gosh.
I laughed enough.
I think people want to see vulnerability and realness, and we thrive with connection and authenticity. And I've had to let go even of some of those projections and just be like, you know what? Here's our family. We're real. We're in this together.
Yep.
We're sharing the same struggles, and we don't want to paint a picture that we've got it all figured out. We don't know when we're going back to school, when everything's going to go back to normal. There's no guarantee. So just being real, honest, transparent. We're even trying to involve our kids. We're very family-oriented company, faith-based, and we love our team. And so just really dialing into to everyone.
I mean, there's definitely a dip you experience. It's kind of like movie. You can only live in the tension so much, and then there's that comic relief moment. I tend to lean that way already, but
God bless you.
Last night on Instagram, for example,
Casey 7's so hard, man. He's 7 so hard.
7's up. She's Canadian, so she loves Celine Dion, of course, and we all do. But she was playing this song, and I was like, we ought to video this. And so we were lip syncing our guts out, and we put that on Instagram. But I remember telling her, I was like, whenever so example, the girl on our team, and she had that baby and it was high risk, I was like, what did you want to not see on Instagram? She goes, I didn't want to see, and this is her coming to that conclusion. She goes, I didn't want to see everybody having it perfect and leaving the hospital 3 days later after their newborn when I've been stuck here for 3 months. Right. I was like, right, so you didn't want to see everybody living everything great as if there was no bad thing happening. I was like, well, the world has that condition right now.
Yeah.
The last thing we need to do is post perfect images of a perfectly going great project, and some of them are. Because we've put in that work, but at the same time, here's us being a little more vulnerable that it is challenging. Our kids are kids. They didn't change. Trying to engage with them has been good, challenging. Trying
There's
to get
so many too.
Every morning.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
Mom is struggling with homeschool over here. But
you were singing your heart out, and we got more people engaging with that. They're like, oh, thank you for that. Y'all are losing your minds too. Clearly, you're losing your minds on Instagram. Keep going. So, but juxtaposing that with just, I'm singing these songs that are goofy kid songs I've written for years with my girls.
Oh, so good.
Making music videos, trying to inspire dads out there. Like when you come out of that dip of what you're walking through, because we're all walking through it.
Yeah.
Keep your head up, lift your eyes up. Your help comes from somewhere greater than your own strength. And I think we believe in that faith component that God's strength is perfect in our weakness. So we can just go ahead and get past the weakness part. Like, I'm insecure, we're struggling, I'm not enough. Okay, let's just own it. Now let's do something stupid together and put a camera in front of it.
I think too, it's made me slow down in the just with our kids and being mundane. Our lives, our schedules, and running here, dropping off, doing this, and then this has just made us kind of pause and see beauty in the mundane. And
there's magic in
I
it.
have to be honest, sometimes I'm too busy to notice the mundane.
Sure.
And this is making us pause a little bit more.
Maybe more than we want. I could do without some mundane pee-pee on the floor, but whatever.
I need a vacation.
Somebody needs to mundane wipe their own butt, but whatever.
I was going to say what's far from perfect right now is this internet connection too. It's
This
super
sucks.
glitchy. So
Really bad.
Talk about being real and authentic. It's happening right now.
There are some amazing screen grabs of your faces though that we will definitely have to
We'll give you some.
Listen, you guys are incredible. We love you. I'm glad you brought up Instagram because I would suggest anybody who has watched this video needs to follow you guys immediately. You're a good hang, even online. So where can everybody find out or how can everybody follow you on Instagram and any other channels, guys? And you're frozen.
So
And you're back. Go.
are we frozen? That little @ symbol, boop, and then Truth and Co Design. That's Instagram. That's where we're doing a lot of stuff. It also goes to Facebook, and there's all that kind of stuff. But if you go to our website, truthandco.com, it was taken, but truthandco.co. That's where our portfolio, all of our stuff is, blogs, helpful blogs, the webinar that we did for living rooms. You can sign up and get all that kind of content.
Yeah.
That's some fun stuff. I think there's another Truth and Co, and it's a bra company. So
Yeah,
we don't sell bras.
You
might should.
get balls right now though too. I don't know.
Or not.
I've never tried one.
Or not.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess.
But
we can
.co.
not do bras right now. and follow you guys personally too, because if you follow Casey specifically, you can learn how to flush the potty.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yes.
So can you send us out with a little line from one of those?
Oh, you know, I'd love to do that, Bryan and Shannon. Don't you know that I just could not wait for this moment? Or what are we even doing? Let's go to Ireland and we sing a song. It's time to wash me hands, wash me hands. It's time to wash me hands. Hey! what
On
we
that
talking about?
note, business. We're talking business.
Hey.
I just started
I
sweating.
think people need that right now.
We're incredibly grateful for the two of you. Thank you for singing, Casey.
You're welcome.
Anisa, thank you for being you and for helping so many people and for sharing your story today, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
so
Y'all are awesome.
much for having us. Grateful for y'all.